Gentlemen, I'm Dr. Shalene Jomas, and as a urologist who spent over 20 years helping men over 60 rediscover genuine passion and connection with their wives, I need to share something with you today that could change everything for you tonight. If you're watching this video, chances are you've noticed changes. Maybe you're not lasting as long as you used to. Maybe the intensity isn't quite what it was 10 or 20 years ago. Maybe you've seen the worry in your wife's eyes, or worse, you've started avoiding intimacy altogether because you're afraid of disappointing her. Listen to me carefully. 73% of men over 60 report significant changes in their bedroom performance. But here's what most doctors won't tell you. This doesn't have to be your reality. 3 months ago, a patient I'll call Robert sat in my office with tears in his eyes. He was 67, married 42 years to the love of his life, and he told me he felt like he was losing her, not because she was leaving, but because he couldn't give her what he used to. He'd tried the pills, he'd tried the supplements. Nothing gave him back what he really wanted: natural control, genuine stamina, and the confidence to satisfy his wife the way he did decades ago. Today, I'm going to share with you the exact natural technique I taught Robert, the same one I've taught thousands of men just like you. It takes less than 10 minutes before bed, requires nothing but your own body, and tonight could be the night you surprise her in the best possible way. But first, you need to understand what's really happening in your body and why everything you've been told about fixing this problem is wrong. Section 1. The real problem. No one talks about. Gentlemen, let me be straight with you. After age 60, your body goes through natural changes that affect bedroom performance in 3 critical ways, and understanding these changes is the first step to reclaiming your confidence. First, there's blood flow. The same cardiovascular changes that might make you breathe harder. Climbing stairs also affect blood flow to your intimate areas. This isn't about desire, your mind wants to perform, but the blood vessels don't respond as quickly or as fully as they once did. Second, there's stamina and control. The muscles in your pelvic floor. Yes, men have these too, and I'll explain exactly where they are. Naturally weaken with age. These are the muscles responsible for control, for lasting longer, for the intensity of your experience. When they weaken, you lose control. It happens faster than you want. The satisfaction isn't as deep. Third, and this is what nobody talks about, there's the neurological connection. The nerve pathways between your brain and your body become less sensitive over time. This means the natural feedback loop that helps you control timing and intensity starts breaking down. You're literally losing the mind-body connection that made you a confident lover in your younger years. Now here's where this gets emotional, and I see this in my office every single day. These physical changes don't just affect you, they affect your marriage. I've had men tell me they feel like they're letting down the woman they've loved for 40, 50 years. I've heard wives express confusion, wondering if their husbands still find them attractive. The distance that grows isn't about love, it's about shame, embarrassment, and the fear of failure. One of my patients, a 72-year-old retired teacher I'll call James, told me something that broke my heart. He said, "Doc, we used to make love twice a week. Now it's twice a month, and I rush through it because I'm terrified it'll be over before it starts. My wife doesn't complain, but I see it in her eyes. I'm failing her." Gentlemen, if that resonates with you, I need you to understand something crucial. This is not about failure. This is about your body changing, and just like you can strengthen your legs by walking or strengthen your heart by eating right, you can strengthen these critical systems naturally. Your wife doesn't need a younger man. She needs you, confident and connected, giving her the intimacy and passion she's been missing. The emotional toll is real. Studies show that men over 60 who experience bedroom difficulties report higher rates of depression, lower self-esteem, and increased marital tension. But here's the hope I want you to hold on to. When these same men learn the natural techniques I'm about to share, 86% report significant improvements within 2 weeks, and their wives notice. The spark comes back. The confidence returns. The connection deepens. Section 2. Why pills and quick fixes are failing you. Now I need to address something that the pharmaceutical companies don't want you to understand. If you've tried pills like Viagra or Cialis, or if you've spent hundreds of dollars on herbal supplements promising instant results, you know they might work temporarily, but they're not fixing the real problem. Show simple graphic comparing temporary versus lasting solutions. Let me explain this clearly. Medications like Viagra work by temporarily increasing blood flow. That's it. They're essentially giving your blood vessels a chemical boost for a few hours. But here's what they don't do. They don't strengthen your pelvic floor muscles. They don't restore nerve sensitivity. They don't improve your natural stamina or control. The moment the medication wears off, you're right back where you started. Dependent, anxious about timing your dose, worried about side effects. And let's talk about those side effects, because this is important. Headaches, flush skin, upset stomach, dangerous interactions with heart medications. One of my patients ended up in the emergency room because he didn't realize his blood pressure medication and his bedroom pill were a dangerous combination. At our age, gentlemen, we can't afford to play games with our cardiovascular health. The herbal supplements are even more frustrating. I've reviewed hundreds of these products, and most are either completely ineffective or contain such small amounts of active ingredients that they might as well be sugar pills. Some contain hidden pharmaceutical ingredients that aren't listed on the label. That's not just dishonest, it's dangerous. You're putting unknown chemicals into your body, hoping for a miracle, when what you really need is to retrain your own natural systems. But here's the biggest problem with the quick fix approach, and this is what I tell every patient who comes to me. These solutions don't give you control. Even if the pill works, even if you can achieve firmness, you still can't last longer. You still don't have the stamina. You still finish too quickly and leave both you and your wife unsatisfied. The pharmaceutical approach treats one symptom while ignoring the complete picture of what makes you a confident, satisfying lover. I had a patient, a 65-year-old businessman I'll call Thomas, who spent 2 years relying on medications. He told me, "Doc, sure, I could perform, but I was lasting maybe 5 minutes. My wife was patient, but I knew she needed more. The pills made me functional, but they didn't make me good." That's the truth nobody in the pharmaceutical industry wants you to hear. Functionality isn't the same as satisfaction. Not for you, and certainly not for your wife. What you need is something that addresses all 3 core problems: blood flow, muscle strength, and nerve control. You need a natural approach that you control, that has no side effects, that doesn't require perfect timing or spending hundreds of dollars every month. You need to rebuild your body's natural capacity for lasting, satisfying intimacy. And that's exactly what I'm about to show you. Section 3. The natural method that changes everything. Return to warm, encouraging tone, slight forward lean, suggesting sharing a secret. Gentlemen, what I'm about to share with you is based on techniques that urologists and pelvic floor specialists have known about for decades, but that most men have never been taught. This isn't some internet gimmick. This is legitimate physiological retraining, and it works because it addresses the root causes we just discussed. The technique is called progressive pelvic control training, and here's what makes it revolutionary. You're going to learn to identify, strengthen, and control the exact muscles responsible for your bedroom stamina and intensity. You're going to restore blood flow naturally through targeted breathing and positioning, and you're going to retrain the nerve pathways that give you conscious control over your timing. This takes less than 10 minutes before bed. You need nothing but privacy and your own body. And tonight, yes, tonight, you can begin to experience the difference. Here's the overview, and then I'll break down each step in complete detail. First, you'll learn to locate and engage your pelvic floor muscles using a simple identification technique. Second, you'll perform a specific sequence of muscle contractions combined with deep breathing that increases blood flow and muscle strength simultaneously. Third, you'll practice a control exercise that retrains the nerve-muscle connection, giving you conscious command over your timing. Finally, you'll use a pre-intimacy activation technique that primes your entire system for lasting, confident performance. The science behind this is fascinating, and I'm going to explain it thoroughly because I want you to understand exactly why this works. But first, let me tell you about Marcus. Marcus was 68, married 45 years, and he came to me completely defeated. He'd been avoiding intimacy for 6 months because he couldn't last more than 2 minutes. His wife thought he was having an affair because of the sudden distance. I taught Marcus this exact technique. The first night, he didn't attempt intimacy. He just practiced the exercises before bed, exactly as I'm going to teach you. The second night, he practiced again, and he told his wife he was working on something to surprise her. On the third night, he felt confident enough to try. Gentlemen, he lasted 18 minutes. His wife cried, not from sadness, but from joy at getting her husband back. 3 weeks later, Marcus told me their intimacy was better than it had been in 20 years. That can be you. That can be tonight. But you need to understand the science, and you need to follow the steps exactly as I'm going to describe them. Section 4, the science. Why this actually works. Let me explain exactly what happens in your body when you perform progressive pelvic control training, because understanding the science will help you do the technique correctly and give you confidence that this isn't just wishful thinking. This is physiological fact. First, let's talk about the pelvic floor muscles. Gentlemen, you have a hammock of muscles that stretches from your pubic bone in front to your tailbone in back. These muscles, the pubococcygeus, the bulbocavernosus, the ischiocavernosus, have 3 critical functions. They control urine flow, they control bowel movements, and they control ejaculation timing and intensity. When these muscles are strong, you have command. You can delay, you can intensify, you can last as long as you and your wife need. But after decades of not specifically training them, they weaken. It's like any muscle you don't use. It atrophies. The good news? Just like you can rebuild your biceps by lifting weights, you can rebuild these muscles with targeted exercises. Here's the mechanism. When you deliberately contract these muscles in the specific pattern I'm going to teach you, you're doing 2 things simultaneously. You're strengthening the muscle fibers themselves, increasing their endurance and power, and you're retraining the neuromuscular pathways, the communication system between your brain and these muscles. Think of it like this. Right now, the phone line between your brain and these muscles is a weak, crackling connection. Through repetitive, focused training, you're rebuilding that line into a high-speed fiber optic cable. Your brain sends the signal, slow down or hold back, and your body responds instantly. Now let's discuss blood flow, because this is where the breathing component becomes crucial. When you combine deep diaphragmatic breathing with pelvic muscle contractions, you're creating a pumping action that increases blood circulation throughout your entire pelvic region. Oxygen-rich blood feeds the tissues, improves elasticity of blood vessels, and enhances sensitivity. Think of your blood vessels like garden hoses. If they're kinked or partially blocked, water flows slowly. The breathing contraction combination is like opening the valve fully and straightening the hose. Blood flows more efficiently, fills the erectile tissues more completely, and sustains firmness longer. This is natural, not pharmaceutical. You're using your body's own mechanisms to achieve what Viagra tries to force chemically. The third component is neurological retraining, and this is perhaps the most elegant part of this technique. There's a nerve bundle called the pudendal nerve that controls sensation and motor function in your entire genital region. Over time, as you've lost conscious awareness of your pelvic muscles, the brain-pudendal nerve connection has weakened. The signals get fuzzy. You lose the early warning system that tells you when you're approaching the point of no return. By practicing conscious contraction and relaxation of your pelvic floor in a specific rhythm, you're literally remapping your brain's awareness of this region. Neuroplasticity. The brain's ability to form new neural connections doesn't stop at 60 or 70 or 80. You can teach an old dog new tricks, especially when those tricks are reconnecting pathways that existed when you were younger. Here's a perfect analogy. Imagine you used to play piano beautifully as a young man, but you haven't touched a keyboard in 40 years. Your fingers are stiff, your muscle memory is gone. Your brain can't quite remember where middle C is. But with daily practice, within weeks, you're playing again. Maybe not concert level, but beautifully, confidently, with control and expression. That's exactly what we're doing with your pelvic floor and nerve connections. The hormonal component is also significant. Regular practice of these exercises has been shown to optimize testosterone utilization and increase dopamine sensitivity, both crucial for desire and performance. Additionally, the confidence and reduced performance anxiety that comes from knowing you have control triggers positive feedback loops in your brain. Your amygdala, the fear center, calms down. Your prefrontal cortex, the planning and control center, lights up. You move from panic mode to performance mode. I had a patient, 71 years old, tell me something profound. He said, "Doc, I realized the problem wasn't my body. It was that I'd forgotten I could control my body. You gave me back that control, and everything else followed." That's the neuroscience in action, gentlemen. You're not broken. You're untrained, and training can begin tonight. One final note on the science. Multiple peer-reviewed studies have demonstrated that pelvic floor exercises improve erectile function, increase stamina by an average of 400%, and significantly enhance orgasm intensity in men over 60. This isn't alternative medicine or pseudoscience. This is evidence-based urology. I'm simply packaging it in a way that you can implement immediately in the privacy of your own bedroom, starting tonight. Section 5. The exact step-by-step technique. All right, gentlemen, now I'm going to walk you through the exact technique, step by step. I want you to practice this tonight before bed and then again tomorrow night and every night thereafter. Within 1 week, you'll feel the difference. Your wife will notice within 2 weeks. Step 1. Muscle identification. Lie on your back in bed, knees bent, feet flat. Now, here's how you find your pelvic floor muscles. Imagine you're urinating and you need to stop the flow midstream. The muscles you would squeeze to stop that flow, those are your pelvic floor muscles. You should feel a pulling sensation deep inside between your legs. Don't clench your buttocks. Don't tighten your abs. Don't hold your breath. Just those deep internal muscles. Practice this squeeze 3 or 4 times until you're confident you've isolated the right muscles. You should feel a distinct lifting sensation, like you're pulling everything upward and inward. Step 2. The basic contraction sequence. Once you've identified the muscles, here's your basic sequence. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 counts. As you inhale, relax your pelvic floor completely. Then, exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 counts. And as you exhale, gradually contract your pelvic floor muscles to maximum tension. Hold that contraction for 5 seconds while breathing normally. This is important. Don't hold your breath. Then release and relax for 10 seconds. Repeat this sequence 10 times. That's 1 set. Each night you'll do 2 sets. 20 total contractions. Step 3. The control exercise. After your 2 sets of basic contractions, we add the control component. This is where you retrain your ability to manage timing during actual intimacy. Contract your pelvic floor to about 50% of maximum strength. Not a full squeeze, but a moderate, sustainable tension. Hold this moderate contraction for 30 seconds while breathing normally. This simulates the control you'll need during intimacy to delay and extend. Rest for 20 seconds, then repeat 3 times. Step 4. Pre-intimacy activation. This final step is what you'll do right before intimacy, whenever you feel ready to be with your wife. 5 minutes before, excuse yourself to the bathroom or bedroom. Perform 3 rapid contractions. Squeeze hard for 2 seconds, release for 2 seconds, repeat 3 times. This primes the muscles and brings blood flow to the region. Then do one long, moderate hold for 45 seconds. This activates the nerve pathways and sets your control system to ready. Common mistakes to avoid. Don't practice while actually urinating. This can cause bladder issues. Don't overdo it. 2 sets per night is sufficient. More can cause muscle fatigue. Don't get discouraged if you can't hold the contractions for the full time initially. Build up gradually over the first week. And crucially, practice every single night, even on nights you don't plan intimacy. This is about building a foundation, like going to the gym regularly, even on days you don't have a big game. Section 6. What to expect. Your timeline to success. Return to warm, encouraging tone. Let me tell you exactly what you can expect as you practice this technique, because having realistic expectations will keep you motivated and confident. Night 1. Tonight, when you practice for the first time, you might struggle to isolate the muscles. That's completely normal. You might only be able to hold the contractions for 2 or 3 seconds instead of 5. That's fine. What's important is that you're beginning the retraining process. Don't attempt intimacy tonight, just practice and rest. Days 2 through 7. Each night, the contractions will feel easier and more controlled. By day 4 or 5, you'll be hitting the full 5-second holds comfortably. You'll start to notice improved awareness throughout the day. You'll feel those muscles even when you're not exercising them. This is the neural pathways waking up. Week 1 intimacy attempt. Somewhere between days 5 and 7, when you feel confident in your practice, try intimacy with your wife. Use the pre-intimacy activation technique 5 minutes before. During intimacy, when you feel yourself approaching climax too quickly, engage that moderate pelvic floor contraction. The 50% squeeze we practiced. Hold it while continuing to move. You'll notice you can delay. Not indefinitely on the first try, but you might go from lasting 5 minutes to lasting 12 or 15. Your wife will notice. You'll feel a surge of confidence that will carry you forward. Weeks 2 through 4. This is where the transformation accelerates. Your muscle strength is building. The nerve connections are solidifying. By week 3, most of my patients report lasting 20 to 30 minutes comfortably, with full control over their timing. The intensity of their experience increases. Stronger sensations, more powerful climax, better connection with their partner. Your wife's reaction during this phase is profound. She'll tell you how much she's missed this closeness. She'll express surprise and delight at your stamina. She'll feel reconnected to you in a way she hasn't in years. And gentlemen, that emotional intimacy, that look in her eyes when she realizes you're back. That's what this is really about, month 2 and beyond. After 8 weeks of consistent practice, this becomes your new normal. You don't have to think about it anymore. The control is automatic. You can last as long as you and your wife desire. You can choose when to finish. The confidence permeates other areas of your life. You stand taller, you feel younger, you engage with your wife more openly. I've had patients in their late 70s tell me this technique gave them their marriage back. Real intimacy, real satisfaction, real connection. Not just going through the motions, but genuine passion that they thought was gone forever. Section 7. Bonus tips and critical warnings. Let me share 3 additional tips that will enhance your results and then 2 critical warnings you need to know. Bonus tip 1. The hydration factor. Drink a full glass of water 30 minutes before intimacy. Proper hydration improves blood flow and tissue elasticity. One of my patients increased his lasting time by an additional 5 minutes simply by staying better hydrated. This is simple, free, and effective. Bonus tip 2. The connection technique. Before intimacy, spend 10 minutes in non-sexual physical connection with your wife. Hold hands, massage her shoulders, look into her eyes, and talk. This raises oxytocin levels, the bonding hormone, in both of you, which deepens emotional connection and actually improves your physical control. Remember, gentlemen, intimacy starts in the heart, not in the bedroom. Bonus tip 3. The confidence posture. During intimacy, maintain positions where you can consciously engage your pelvic floor if needed. Positions where you're in control of the rhythm work best initially. This isn't about limiting passion. It's about giving yourself the best chance for success while you're still building confidence. Now, the critical warnings. Warning 1. If you have any prostate issues, recent surgery, or chronic pelvic pain, consult your urologist before beginning these exercises. While the technique is safe for most men, certain conditions require medical clearance. Warning 2. Avoid habits that sabotage your progress. Excessive alcohol before intimacy impairs nerve function and blood flow. Smoking constricts blood vessels. High stress elevates cortisol, which interferes with performance. You're doing this important work to rebuild your bedroom confidence. Don't undermine it with lifestyle choices that work against you. Take care of yourself, gentlemen. Your wife deserves your best, and you deserve to feel confident and capable. Section 8. Your path forward starts tonight. Gentlemen, we've covered a lot of ground today, but it all comes down to this. You have the power to change your bedroom confidence starting tonight. No pills, no expensive supplements, no embarrassing doctor visits. Just you, 10 minutes of focused practice, and the willingness to give your wife and your marriage the gift of renewed intimacy. Let me summarize the key points. First, understand that the changes you've experienced are natural, but they're not permanent. Your pelvic floor muscles can be strengthened. Your blood flow can be improved. Your nerve control can be restored. Second, reject the pharmaceutical quick fix mentality. Those pills don't give you stamina, control, or genuine confidence. Third, commit to progressive pelvic control training. The simple 4-step technique I've taught you today. Practice it every night before bed. Use the pre-intimacy activation before you're with your wife. And watch as your lasting time, your control, and your satisfaction transform over the next few weeks. This is about more than just physical performance, gentlemen. This is about reclaiming your identity as a confident, capable lover. It's about seeing desire and satisfaction in your wife's eyes again. It's about deepening a connection that might have frayed due to embarrassment and avoidance. Your marriage deserves this. She deserves this. And you absolutely deserve to feel like a man who can satisfy his woman. Tonight, after you finish watching this video, I want you to try the technique. Lie in bed, find those pelvic floor muscles, and do your first 2 sets of contractions. It'll take 8 to 10 minutes. Tomorrow night, do it again. By the end of this week, you'll feel different, more aware, more in control, more confident. And when you're ready, when you feel that surge of confidence, surprise your wife. Show her that the man she married, the man she fell in love with, is still right here, ready to make her feel cherished and satisfied. If this video resonated with you, if you're committed to trying this technique tonight, do me a favor. Leave a comment below saying, "I'm trying this for her." Let's create a community of men who are choosing natural solutions, choosing their marriages, choosing confidence over embarrassment. Hit that like button if you found this helpful, and subscribe to this channel because I share discreet, professional, evidence-based advice for men over 60 every single week.